We've tracked down a defector who directly implicates Major General Al-Hassan in a massacre just outside Daraa, in which more than 100 people were killed. The defector is now in a secure location, so we spoke to him via the internet. Afaq Ahmad belonged to the Special Operations Directorate of Air Force Intelligence.
وردت معلومات من قبل المخبرين في منطقة درعا في محافظة درعا أن هناك عشرات الألوف تنوي التوجه لدرعا لفك الحصار عنها.
Afaq overheard his boss discussing what to do with his superior officer, Jamil Al-Hassan.
قال له اقتراحي أن نعطي أوامرنا لجميع الحواجز بالتعامل بكل قسوة وعنف مع هذه الجموع وتوقيف تدفقهم إلى محافظة درعا. وفعلا أخذ القرار من اللواء جميل حسن.
During the killing spree that followed, 13-year-old Hamza Al-Khatib went missing. A month later, his mutilated body was returned to his family, sparking outrage across Syria and beyond. The president himself denied Hamza had been tortured in a rare and compelling interview he gave to the American channel ABC in December.
For the child, I met with his father, and there was a special investigation committee to see if there was torture. There was no torture. This is only false allegations, to be frank with you.
But the president is wrong. A previous Channel 4 investigation concluded that Hamza was tortured. And now Afaq Ahmad has confirmed that the boy was abused in state custody.
بنفس التاريخ رأيت حمزة الخطيب الطفل حمزة الخطيب في أحد الزنزانات القريبة من الباب الرئيسي في فرع التحقيق الكائن في مطار المنزل، وكان متأثرا في بعض جراح طفيفة نتيجة لضربه ويشعر بالألم قليلا.
Afaq saw several other children there as well as Hamza.
لكن بعد فترة من الزمن رأيت أنا شخصيا عبر الإعلام أنه قتل، فعندما عاودت التأكد من السجلات فرأيت أن الأطفال قد حقق معهم.
The trail of orders that we've uncovered takes us ever closer to President Bashar al-Assad. In April last year, his brother, Maher al-Assad, directly ordered the mass roundup and punishment of the entire male population of the town of Al-Mudanya. 5,000 men.
اقتحام عناصر من المخابرات الجوية ومن الفرقة الرابعة التابعة لماهر الأسد وتحت أمرته.
The president's brother wields huge power. He is described by the European Union as the principal overseer of violence against demonstrators in the Syrian uprising.
أعطى أوامر لجنوده ولجنود المخابرات الجوية شفهيا، وأنا كنت حاضر على الاجتماع هذا. جاء أمر أنه يعتقل جميع الرجال، ما بدنا ولا رجل معظمي إلا يحاسب.
Indiscriminate mass punishment is considered a crime against humanity. And we know that President Bashar al-Assad was aware of what his brother had done.
He was provided with at least allegations that abuses, violations took place during this operation, allegedly under the orders of his brother and the commander of the 4th Division. It was his responsibility as a president to order an investigation into what happened and to bring those responsible to justice. If he didn't do that, he is responsible as well.
If President al-Assad is ever held to account for overseeing this violent repression, it will boil down to whether, as Commander-in-Chief of Syria's armed forces, he either knew or should have known about what was going on. There's also been much speculation over the extent to which Syria's First Lady, Asma, is aware of what's really happening. emails show that while government tanks blasted her home city Homs, she was busy shopping online in the boutiques of London and Paris for high heels, handmade furniture, candlesticks and chandeliers. Despite this, other emails show Asma did not live in complete ignorance. In one email, a friend urged her and her children to flee Syria. Others begged for help in securing the release of friends or relatives detained during protests. In December, her father emailed from London about a Channel 4 documentary that was about to be aired called Syria's Torture Machine. Our program showed that the use of torture by the Syrian regime was widespread and systematic. Before it went out, we asked the Syrian embassy for a response. The leaked emails show that Asma al-Assad's father, a London-based cardiologist called Fawaz Akras, emailed both Bashar and Asma suggesting that the government should tell us that the pictures would be sent for professional examination and that those accountable would be prosecuted. When the embassy got back to us, their words echoed those words almost exactly. Asma has come under pressure, most recently from a group of UN ambassadors' wives, to appeal to her husband to stop the killing.
Speak out now, for the sake of your people.
But it appears she hasn't taken action. This has left her old friends confused.
I think that Emma would be devastated as to, the way things are now. I think if Emma could change things, she would.
I can't give you any explanation for this. I mean, on one hand, she's not a fool. They have access to Western television. They must know what's going on. They must know that there is all this violence in the country. But on the other hand, she's married to somebody who's the father of the children. One does not know what goes on in somebody's mind like that.
It seems clear from the evidence we've obtained that the Assads were well aware of the scale of the brutality going on in Syria all along, and that Bashar al-Assad played an active role in overseeing it. So how did the West get it so wrong? Did we cut Bashar al-Assad too much slack in the hope that he would deliver on his promises to reform?
I think in those early stages, we didn't know how Bashar al-Assad would respond. There's always been a sense that someone who had had long exposure to the West, to the United Kingdom, and who had gone, when he originally took power, had a different style about him than his father, that there might have been something different.
The president has ploughed on with phony reforms, recently holding elections that were dismissed by opposition groups as a sham. But it seems it's now dawned on most of the rest of the world that they've been had. Mr. and Mrs. Assad and other key family members are now banned from travelling to the EU, although Asma's British passport means she can still come here. Last night, the UN Security Council condemned the killings in Hula, but it's yet to order the International Criminal Court to investigate Assad's alleged crimes.
We will do everything within our power. We have seen former leaders of regimes in the International Criminal Court already. So no one can discount the possibility that it may well happen. And if you were Bashar al-Assad, you would not bet that it would not happen to you.
But Bashar al-Assad has chosen to stand and fight, still hoping his iron fist, like his father's, will crush all dissent. So much for Bashar, man of the people.
One time my daughter asked him, "What do you do?" And he said to her, "I try and help people." And she asked him, "How do you help people? What are the tools that you have?" And he said to her, "The most important thing is that I'm accessible and that I listen."
It's turned out the president doesn't seem to be listening and is unwilling ever to concede he's to blame. Yet 3 years ago, Probably never imagining this turn of events, he made an admission he must now regret.
Every mistake happens in this government. You are responsible, not somebody else. Not the minister, not the prime minister. At the end, you should be responsible. You say, I'm responsible, but this is my reason.
So desperate was the West for a friend in a turbulent region that it saw what it wanted to see in Bashar and Asma. It no longer matters whether we were duped or deluded. Bashar al-Assad has burned his bridges.